Asdrubal Cabrera takes it high. In a sport largely defined by failure, those two guys, in a way, known because of it. Cabrera's 0 for 4, 1 for his last 18. Look at that stance. Kidding me? See how flexible? Now you can do that with nobody on, but that was awfully enticing for Farrell to get the ball to that area. Look at that. Wow. That is just perfect. And of course he wants the call because he didn't move the glove, so it meant he set up a little too far off in the beginning. Speaking of goalies, looked like one stretch in there. 2-2. I think Tony Pena used to do that a lot when he was his playing days. Farrell's done a great job coming in. Tight game. And he gets Cabrera.
Great teammates. Not having to come in and light up the room. Not having to do anything, but every day that they show up and walk in that clubhouse door, I know exactly what I'm getting from them. 4 quality ABs, pulling for teammates, wanting to do the right thing. And I felt like that was the definition of you when I played with you in 07. And I want to dive in. I want to go a little bit, little defense, little offense, and kind of pick your brain. Because kind of polling the catchers in today's game, the information is coming at them so quick, right? They have so much knowledge. They can kind of make a game plan up. You talked about getting there at 1 o'clock. And you can pause this at any point that shows him looking mean behind the plate. But for me, they're getting the information to them. I feel like a lot of guys are looking at slugging percentage in certain counts. Take me through, you talked about game planning hitters. What were you looking at? Were you focused on certain numbers? Were you focused on, I'm not going to do the same thing to them that I did a month ago? What was kind of like your starting point? You pop that tape into VCR. Where are you going, and how has it changed till today?
Well, I think first and foremost, you have to have a routine. I truly believe in that. Whatever your routine may be, like if you get 3 knocks and you had McDonald's that day, you're going to have it. Yeah, absolutely. I would hope not now that people are going up there and launch angle. I would hope they're up there seeing the ball and hitting it. Yeah. I wasn't a power hitter, so I would look gap to gap. That's how I know I was going to get to the ball inside. I know I could hit the ball away, but I would look for the ball down the middle of the plate. And it allowed me to be a good 2-strike hitter.
How would you call against yourself?
I wouldn't throw it in because I'm going to put.
How would you game plan? So what would you look at? Would you look at your glass?
The one thing that I always wanted to know was how much sink or run did he have on it. Those were the guys that got me. And that was a scouting report, pitch me inside. And that was, anything middle away, I could dump it over the second baseman's head. I had that back control.
Let's run it. Let's get to his offense, because you did a lot of different things with your hands. You had a lot of play with your hands. This is you catching. Little Jimmy Anderson. Lock me in on your offensive philosophy, because I think you did a lot of things. You could have went deep. I watched you in BP. If you wanted to sit on your backside and go deep 25 times, it would have took away average from you. But I think you could have done it. You had a lot of play with your bottom hand. So just kind of take me through, what were you thinking at the plate? What was your mindset? How did you game plan against certain pitchers?
When I was that young,
you could pause this at any time. So
no, I got you. When I was that young, I could hit the ball out of the ballpark. When I ended up jamming, and that's when I had to change my swing, because I had surgery on my thumb, and that's where I lost my power. Everybody thinks that, oh, your ankle, this. I lost my power. So that right there, I could hit the ball out of the ballpark. But I still had my gap to gap.
And was that the mindset, or am I going right center?
I know if you hang something, I'm going to get it. Okay. You up and away, I had your up and away pop.
Yeah.
Before, and then I had to change my swing, and I became more of a situational hitter. But I can honestly tell you, I sit here, if you were up here going, my hands here, my hands there, well, you're 0-2.
Yeah.
Instantly. So you do all this in your BP, all your T work and your soft touch. But when I get up here and I'm locked in, let me see the white thing I'm looking for right down the middle of the plate. And I say down the middle of the plate because it's going to allow me to lay off that slider that nobody can hit.
So you were always on heater.
Always on here. Now, when I got older, I cheat a little bit.
Cheat a little bit to serve.
What we were talking about earlier, I cheat when I knew a catcher was in all these packs because I knew what they were thinking. Younger catcher, I'm going to get you by the second inning. No way. Oh, bottom line, just by watching you.
Yeah.
And you know, your older, better guys, you got to play a little cat and. So I was always playing the cat and mouse game with the opposing catcher.
Yeah.
But I would look for the ball down the middle of the plate. I wouldn't. I would just nice and easy, right center, left center, up the middle, but I really, when I say middle of the plate, when you get this ball down here, nobody can hit. I've never seen anybody hit the hell bodies going deep. Yeah. But if you look, it's going to allow you to take this part of the plate and put the ball where you want to.
Why no batting gloves?
I did one time. I did. This is going to sound. My hands felt claustrophobic in there.
Come on.
I'm telling you, I couldn't. It was. But what happened is I went to Kansas City. My dad was the bullpen coach for the Royals, and when I was with Oakland, go to Kansas City, and I go, my hands are just banged up. It was right after my thumb break, and there's worse than batting gloves. So I grabbed swishers. Hey, Swish, here's some batting gloves. Grabbed them. Going back to the routine and superstition, I got 3 knocks. So now I got to put this elbow pad on, and then I got to put this batting gloves, and I'm like, you got to be kidding. But so I used those a little bit with us, or with you in Chicago, but then I went back.
All right, so take me inside. The difference in seeing young kids from the Kansas City Royals walk down to the cage today, what their mindset is, you working with them, and what you were trying to accomplish when you were playing. Are we all thinking the same thing? We just got different verbiage for it.
That's exactly what it is. I mean, and I think all the analytics and the old school guys.
Hold on, we got to fix this. So the world can hear what you're saying.
I think the analytics.
Lock it in. There you go.
Thanks, dude. I appreciate it. Well, the analytics and the old school guys, what they are saying is the same thing. It's what we did. I mean, okay, spin rate. Well, that's the curveball that Clayton Kershaw throws that you can't see the seams when it's.
Exactly.
I mean, but so it's just, and I don't know all the verbiage, just like you said. It's just a different way. It's great for fans. But I can honestly say, if I'm up there hitting it, I'm going launch angle.
I'm punching out.
I'm without a doubt.
Yeah.
But I think the analytics simplify the game. I think is what my approach was, because this game is so darn difficult. And if you simplify it, it's going to be a little bit easier. It's not going to be a lot.
You certainly made the game look easier, and one thing that no one could ever take away from you. In fact, you have one of the most horrific injuries ever on a baseball field, and I just looked at it, all right? It's the only time. And then right after that, 1999, 153 games, 147 games, 152. I mean, you went to the post every day for your team.
Enjoyed playing. And I knew that I could do something, whether it be a sack bunt to get somebody over, calling a game for. I know I could do something that would help the team out that day. And I enjoyed playing.
I love it. Lauren, he's sticking around.
Yes, he is.